Good morning, everyone. Larry Walker here from Tulsa Insurance Group, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Farm Shopping Center, 51st and Sheridan here in Midtown Tulsa. Just wanted to give you a quick video this morning and explain to you a little bit about homeowners rates. I normally try to do one of these a week. I've already done one this week, but this question comes up so much that I just wanted to take a moment and just put it out there for people to see. The big question that I get from a lot of people is, hey, I've had homeowners insurance for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and it goes up every year, Why does it go up every year when I don't make any claims? And I think that's a fair question. And I want to try to answer that question. All I ask you to do is, if you like or may not like the answer, but if you feel like this has been informative for you, all I ask you to do is just share it on your Facebook page so that other people who have this same question can see the answer to this question. And it's really not a made-up question. It is a real answer. As a matter of fact, the source that I'm going to give you in regards to expense ratios for the state of Oklahoma for insurance companies, I'm going to cite that source at the bottom of the video so that anyone who wants to go and look that up online and see that I'm not making this number up, you're welcome to do that. I'd invite you to do that. The fact is that in the state of Oklahoma, most insurance carriers do not make any money on homeowners insurance. It is a loss leader, most definitely. And I think that it's important for you to understand that there's two primary things that will cause your rate to go up. Now, these aren't the only two things that will cause your rate to go up. So if you watch this video and you go back to your agent and say, hey, there's only two things that will cause my rate to go up according to this Larry Walker guy, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying there's only two things that will make your rate go up. I'm saying there's just two major things that drive your rate on your homeowner's insurance policy. One being what you do individually can make your rate go up on your homeowner's insurance policy. In other words, you may file claims. You may raise coverages, you may lower deductibles, you may do a lot of those kinds of things inside of your policy that you do specifically as the consumer, as the policy holder, that can affect your rate. You say, but Larry, I haven't done any of that. I don't make claims. I don't change coverages. But my rate still goes up. Well, that brings me to the second major thing in the state of Oklahoma that can cause your rate to go up, and that is weather. Now, you say, well, Larry, I've not had a weather claim. I understand that, but let me remind you what insurance is. The reason you don't self-insure is because if a tornado came along and blew your home away, or a fire, or a hailstorm beat up your roof, and it's a $20,000, you don't have $20,000 that you can just throw out there to replace it, or $30,000. Some roofs now are as high as $80,000, $90,000, depending on how big the roof is and what kind of material you're using. And then if your house blows away, I don't have $150,000. I don't have $200,000. I don't have $300,000 where I can just rebuild my home. So our society came up with this thing called insurance. And what insurance does, it says, I'll take your premium and your premium and your premium over here, and we'll put them all together, and we'll share. We'll share in the risk. In other words, we'll say to each other, hey, we'll all put a little bit in so that if you have a claim, we'll pay it. But what happens if we put all that money in, and let's say we collect, $100,000, but there's $110,000 of claims that year? Well, for that insurance company to stay solvent, that next year, that rate's going to have to go up a little bit, which is what's happening in the state of Oklahoma. As a matter of fact, the source I'm going to cite, and I don't have it memorized, but I'm going to cite it down at the bottom of the video, 108% expense ratio for insurance companies on average in the state of Oklahoma. That means for every dollar that insurance companies bring in premium, they're spending $1.08 in claims across the board in the whole state. Now, what that means is, for that insurance company to stay solvent, to be able to continue to write homeowners insurance and to stay in the market, they have to raise those rates. Now, companies deal with this in different ways. Some companies will go 2 or 3, 4, 5 years without seeing a rate adjustment, but then boom, on that third, fourth, fifth year, boom, it's a big, huge rate they take, and the customer is just hurting like crazy and scrambling to try to find maybe a little less expensive policy. Other companies will take a little bit of an increase at a time, which is what Farmers typically tries to do, to take that conservative approach that if there is a need for a rate, we try to take a little at a time. And then there's other companies, and you definitely don't want to be a part of these companies, which I'm not going to mention any names, not my purpose on being here, but there are companies that will come into the state of Oklahoma. They'll write up a bunch of homeowners policies inexpensively, but then when the losses start hitting, they pull out of the state of Oklahoma and they say, we're not writing any more homeowners insurance in the state of Oklahoma right now. Then they'll wait 4 or 5 years and they'll come back when they're in a better position and write more homeowners insurance. They do that in and out kind of thing. You don't want to get caught in that situation. So you need to understand that that's the two primary things. And as long as we spread risk, and as long as there's weather-related claims in Oklahoma, as much as there is, there's probably going to be a continual rate increase in your homeowner's insurance. Cost of materials go up, labor costs go up, all of those things affect what happens in the homeowner's insurance market. So you may not be filing a claim. You may not have filed a claim in 20 years. You may not have filed a claim you may have never filed a claim on your insurance policy, but your rate goes up, and that's because of the spreading of the risk. We do that so that we can make sure everyone is covered, and we raise rates to make sure we are able to stay solvent. Now, so I just want you to know, and one important thing here I want to mention at the end of this, and that is, if you don't have an insurance agent, you need to give me a call, 918-298-0000. There's nothing worse than trying to deal with a problem on the insurance policy on an 800 number. You really ought to get an agent. Whether it's me, whether it's someone else, doesn't really matter. The agent is your friend if you find the right person. So you need to sit down with that agent every year, face to face, look them in the eyeball, and go over your policy with them and ask them, what is this coverage? What is this coverage? What is this coverage? Do I really need this coverage? Maybe I need this coverage. Maybe you've added things to your home. Maybe you've taken things away from your home. Maybe you don't need as much coverage as you once had. Maybe you need more coverage than you once had. All kinds of things can happen. Maybe you may pass away and your house is not paid for. Did you know we can help you pay for that house if that happens, so that your family doesn't have the burden of a house payment if something were to happen to you? There's all kinds of things we can do, but remember this. Always remember this. As long as there's weather-related claims in the state of Oklahoma, you're probably going to see homeowners insurance go up a little at a time. Thank you. God bless. Call me, Larry Walker, 918-298-0000. Again, doesn't matter if you're my customer or not. I'll be glad to answer your question. 918-298, all zeros. Have a great day, Tulsa. Till next time.